Matthew Broderick is an award-winning actor on both stage and the big screen. He's one of the stars in the new Warren Beatty movie called Rules Don't Apply. He plays a driver and an assistant to Howard Hughes. Take a look.
You said you wanted the girl with the two M's.
That's not her. That's Marlon Mabry. She's a Baptist nun, for Christ's sake.
It's the only one on the payroll with two M's.
Did it occur to you that maybe the one that I wanted with the two M's was not on the payroll?
You met Marilyn Monroe?
Who?
Marilyn Monroe?
Yes, Marilyn Monroe.
Hey, Matthew, good morning.
Good morning.
Can I tell people what you just said?
Yeah, sure.
You just were watching the clip and you said, I don't care for this clip.
Well, yeah, I'd like to do it again. I'd like another crack at it.
What would you have done differently?
A little different timing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Does that happen a lot when you look at a movie? Think,
even funnier.
I could have done that better?
Yeah.
How many takes did you do on that?
Probably a whole. I don't remember that one. I don't think a whole lot, but sometimes we did a lot with Warren. But I don't remember.
I've had some of the other stars of this movie. Warren's been here also, but also Lillian Alden. They talked about a rather long, tortuous process getting their jobs. Not Warren, obviously.
Yeah.
What was yours like? Well,
mine was long. It wasn't torturous. It was. I was walking on Fifth Avenue, and my agent called and said, Warren Beatty would like to talk to you. It's about a movie about Howard Hughes, but he'll never make it, so don't worry, but call him. And I called him. He didn't bring up the movie. We talked a long time. He said he wanted to talk again. We talked again.
Did you know him?
I didn't know him, but I did after the call. He was so charming and nice and smart. And we called several times. Then he said, do you ever come to L.A.? I came to L.A. He never brought up the movie. Went to his house. Annette Bening made us pasta. We still didn't bring up the movie. And then he finally said, by the way, I'm working on a movie I would like you to be in.
And you said, I thought you'd never get to it.
My spaghetti out, and I read the script at his house, and here I am.
You've been in this business for a long time, and maybe this is a weird question to ask, but do you have the same feeling about him that I do after doing this job for 20 years? This is a legend.
Yeah, I do.
What's it like to be around him?
Well, I'm used to it now, pretty much. So I like him, you know. But when I first met him, or when I was a kid growing up, Warren Beatty, I mean, he was it, you know, my idol. So it was amazing to meet him.
Now, you said something a second ago, and if Warren Beatty were here, he would have corrected you.
What was that?
He would have said it's not a movie about Howard Hughes.
That's true.
He doesn't see it that way. He sees it as a story of Hollywood in change.
That's true, I think. And it's about a young couple. You know, it focuses around them. But he plays Howard Hughes, and everybody knows who Howard Hughes is, so it seems easy to say.
A good way to describe it. You play LeVar. LeVar is kind of an assistant and a driver who serves as a go-between.
Yeah.
It must have been a bizarre world to be around Howard Hughes at that time.
It absolutely must have been. I can't even imagine it. You had to get him whatever he wanted, no matter how strange, and that was my job. And I also remember was living in Warren's guest house, so I was sort of playing a butler when I got to the set, and I would get home and still sort of feel the same way.
People say that Warren directed in character as Howard Hughes. So when he came home at night and you were his house guest, did he stay in character then?
No, by then he was back to Warren. He could, but when he had his costume on and he was in the middle of acting with you, he'd say, do that again, but be more angry at me. And you'd think, oh, okay. You know, I don't know if I'm being directed or the guy is talking to me.
Kind of a weird way to end, but I'm looking over at Casey Affleck in the orange room here. No, that's right, but he's coming up next. You're actually in the movie he's talking about.
I know I am. I'm in most every movie, you know, that I can, you know.
Anything you want to say about Casey before he comes on?
Casey is wonderful, and his movie is wonderful. It's written by my dear friend Kenny Lonergan, and Casey, that's his name, is fantastic in it. I've known him so long. I've known Casey for years, too. I love Casey, right?
Thank you.
Say yes, I like you, too.
Yes, you love me.
It's kind of the show blurring the lines here, which is fine.
This is how our lives are.
I don't want to take anything else away because then I'd be taking Savannah's interview with you. So I'm just going to say.
I've got a lot to say about Matthew, though, if you'd like.
Give me one thing real quick.
One of the best things about Matthew is he uses his first 4 takes to memorize his lines. That's something people don't know.
Okay. All right. So it's going to be like that, right? Matthew Broderick, great to see you.
Great to see you, too.
Casey, we'll talk to you more in a second. Let me tell you, Rules Don't Apply hits theaters next Wednesday, and Casey will be back with Savannah.